Hello, everyone. Welcome to another playoff preview here on High Top Sports Network, brought to you by Douglas Insurance Services. I'm Jake DeLuca, and today I'm joined by Freeport Yellowjackets varsity boys basketball head coach Wayne Greiser. His team just got Freeport their first playoff win in 12 years for the Freeport boys in a nail-biting 65-64 victory over Blackhawk. Now it's on to Belle Vernon to take on the top-seeded Leopards, and they never said it was going to get easier. But
No,
hey, Wayne, how are you doing today?
doing well. Thanks, Jake. Thanks for having us.
So first off, it had to feel pretty good to bring the school its first playoff win in so long. So walk me through what this means for the program and just kind of overall for the team and the emotions afterwards.
Oh, it's big for the program. Um, we've been in the playoffs a lot, but we've never ever gotten that. We've been close to getting a win in the first round here and there, but we could never get that elusive win. So it was nice to get that, especially with we have one senior, Christian Ronski, and he's been out with an illness all year. So we've been playing all underclassmen all year. So it's big for the program in the future, for those guys that not only just get playoff experience, but also to experience a win and know how to finish the game. So that was good for us.
And so next up, you guys have Belle Vernon. They're the number one seed in the playoffs here, and they have a pretty explosive offense, to say the least. They're just averaging a little over 71 points per game. And I'm sure you've watched a lot of film on them the past couple of days and kind of learned the intricacies of their offense. So how do you guys plan on slowing them down, and what do you think it'll take to make them work, really?
Well, honestly, their offense isn't that intricate. It's more off their defense. They get a lot of steals and layups and things like that in transition. But they got a couple guards that can get to the rim. Everybody talks about Devin Whitlock, how great he is, and he is very good. But they've got some pretty darn good components around him as well, guard-wise. It can shoot it and also attack the rim. So they're very explosive and dangerous. So we've got to limit the turnovers, take care of the ball against the pressure, not give up those easy, wide open layups because they get a steal and convert a turnover. And then when they're in those offensive sets, we're going to try to change up the defense here and there, just to try to keep them off their toes. And then we've got to box out and rebound and limit them to one, because with them being so good, can't give them multiple opportunities at the rim. So, it's a big key is rebounding and limiting them on the offensive glass.
And Vinnie Clark and Connor Holloway were big for you guys against Blackhawk, finishing with 18 and 16 points respectively. I mean, they do so much more than just score, but they were at the top there for you guys against Blackhawk. And then you have a guy like Cole Charlton, who was your leading scorer through the season and really kind of helped you solidify that win against Blackhawk with a couple clutch free throws down the stretch. Ben Lane and others are guys too that can really come in and light you up. So what do those guys have to do for you guys to have success tomorrow on the road?
Yeah, I mean, everybody contributed that got in the game Monday night. Like we told them, obviously everybody sees Cole's foul shots and says that's what won the game. But in a 1 point game, it's a deflection in the first quarter or a made basket or somebody hustling back and getting something. And we reminded the guys of that, Cole got the spotlight and well-deserved, because he did make some clutch free throws. But it took everybody that participated in the game to get that win when it's a 1 point win. At any point you give up, something else happens and the outcome's completely different. So our starting five just has to take care of the ball and keep playing good team basketball. Vinny and Connor did a great job scoring and converting layups. We break the press and get some easy layups, and they were making those, and Vinny was just getting the rim all night. So it was good for him to make those. Ben did a pretty good job defensively, and then he created some offense, and then he got a little bit of foul trouble, but that was the nice thing with our bench. We had guys step up. Gavin Crony came in, hit a big three at the buzzer to give us a lead going into the half. So that was big to build momentum on. Zach Clark handled the ball, and big thing for him was defensively. I thought he played a very solid game coming in defensively as a sophomore. Jason Kowski hit a big three for us in the second half. He's a starter for us, and then made a couple free throws towards the end too. We shot the ball pretty well from the free throw line, so that was a big thing. Even Dean Fury, he played minimal minutes, but he gave Ben a break when he needed it in foul trouble, and he did some things, just getting hands on balls and rebounds and things like that. And like I said, that those are things that people don't see in the box score. They just see, Vinny had 18 and Connor had 16, but you don't see those type things. And that's what we try stressing as a team is it's more than just the guy scores. We pride ourselves in some defense, but big things, getting tips and things like that, causing turnovers and taking care of the ball. Is a big thing, obviously, offensively, because it got us into our sets and allowed us to get a lot of those points. So I was pleased with everybody. And the guys that didn't get in the game, we had 3 great practices leading up to that to get us ready for it. So everybody contributed definitely throughout the whole team. Parker Lucas, he got in there too. Give Cole some breaks as a big man. Like you said, Cole didn't have a big offensive night, but he was responsible for one of their leading scorers for Blackhawk and did a pretty good job on him, limited him to 10 points or so. And then he frustrated him a lot too. The guy fouled out at the end and was frustrated, you could tell. So that was a big thing for us. So I've preached for these guys. We want to be playing our best basketball at the end of the year. When we started the playoffs, everybody's 0-0. We've seen some upsets, in different levels. Highlands was a 4 seed, and they lost tonight to Trinity. So it's a different season. You don't know what people are experiencing. You have a COVID shutdown for a couple of days, and people keep it hush, and you don't know that they're not practicing or they getting in scrimmages right now, because it's so weird right now with the whole way the whole setup is right now that you don't really know what's going on. I mean, I looked at Belle Vernon, and our last game was like February 20th. Now, I'm sure there were some scrimmages in there between. I know they had a couple of games canceled. So who knows? I mean, it's anybody's ball game, and I mean, obviously they're a great team. They're 11-1. They got to play a game back in December. They lost that game to a quality opponent, Thomas Jefferson. They haven't lost in 2021. So that's why I keep telling our guys, believe in each other. Tomorrow, if we come out on top, it's not going to be a surprise to us. It may be surprising to everybody else, but the guys that have been at practice and working, it shouldn't be a surprise if we do go out and beat them either.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you talk about limiting turnovers, and we talked a little bit about how, Belle Vernon's offense is so geared to getting steals and taking it in transition. So what do you guys have to do tomorrow to protect the ball, go out there and get a W?
I think our guys that are handling the ball just have to relax and, go through the reads. We almost have them like quarterbacks right now, going through different reads against the presses and stuff. So we just need them to pay attention. And then the guy that's getting the ball, we've stressed this a couple times, step to the ball, because we had a couple passes stolen today in practice. And I said, listen, those guys are even quicker than our guys. So if you don't stop until it's in your hands, because if you stop, somebody's going to get in front of it. They could deflect it or get a steal. And that just, once they get going, it snowballs for them. So they had Elizabeth Ford, who's the second best team in their conference. They were up 18-0 on them at Elizabeth Ford, just with all defense, getting steals and then making buckets and transition stuff. So we just got to slow down the game. Don't get going too fast. Be in the right spots. We told everybody, everybody has to know their job and their responsibility, because it just takes one guy to mess up and be in the wrong spot or do something wrong, and it causes an issue on both the offensive and defensive end with our assignments. So, we feel good. We've had a couple good practices. It's so weird, like the last week, to have multiple practices back-to-back days, with snow, weather, mid-February, and then we had not back-to-back games, but every other day. So it was one day practice game, one day practice game. So to have these multiple days of practice is good. So I told my assistant Monday after the game, I said, funny thing is, this is like finishing summer league right now. If you look back at where we normally are, that would have been our summer league, just the amount of games that we played in the regular season and the playoffs. So we didn't get any of that. We didn't get any team camps or shootouts and any of that stuff. And guys are starting to pick up things and understand their roles. now, and I said part of it is because we're just playing through it. Normally, this would be stuff that we could cover in the summertime and the spring, the summer, and the fall, and we didn't get those opportunities. So it is different. And then when we started, we were in pod, so hard for guys to challenge positions and stuff like that because you're not. I don't know how you can really challenge somebody when you're practicing separate as them. So it was difficult. And, we had a little COVID shutdown with one of our pods, so we only had a pod of 7 healthy guys going for a while. So it was crazy, different year. But I'm very proud of the guys that they've battled. They stuck with it. They could have very easily. We went 0-3 to start the season. They could have, just mailed it in then, and we battled back and won 4 out of 6 there, and then dropped one back and forth towards the end there. And just to bounce back the way we did Monday and go to Blackhawk, not neutral site. It was at Blackhawk. Get on a long bus ride where they just strolled in from their houses and stuff. It was a big thing for us and a good step for the program.
Yeah, hey, I mean, you guys been there, done that. You said, everybody starts off 0-0 whenever you enter the playoffs. Well, you guys are now 1-0, heading to Belle Vernon, gonna try and do the same thing you did on Monday whenever you went to Blackhawk and took them down. So, Wayne, I want to thank you for joining me today. And this, of course, brought to you by Douglas Insurance Services. The game tomorrow at Belle Vernon, Freeport Yellowjackets versus the Leopards here. Keep it locked on to High Top Sports Network. We'll bring you all the latest and greatest in local sports. Wayne, thanks again.
Thanks again for having us.